Hello and welcome to the Speakers for the Dead channel. Just trying to get a feel for how to do these videos. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. We're going to be discussing some really cool stuff over the next however many years that we can make this all work. Hope for a very, very long time. Just to give you a little bit of a taste tester for what's going to be coming. Kind of some of the things that I've seen some other people do online, but we each have our own unique perspective and our own individual voice that kind of helps define the discussion for all the things that are going on out there. The name of my channel is not meant to be morbid. If you know anything about the works of Orson Scott Card, then you'll know a little bit about the speaker or the Speakers for the Dead, and the fact that they were kind of a group that had decided that they would speak only truth, mainly at the death of an individual, but just in general, speakers of truth, and that's what I want to do on this channel. So as far as my opinions go, it's the truth as I understand it. I'll never try and mislead you to try and score points or any kind of ridiculous stuff like that. This is about just starting discussions and having some fun and doing. I mean, there's going to be some serious stuff, and there's going to be some stupid stuff, and there's going to be talking about movies, new movies and classic movies that I love, and I'll review them and kind of give you a sense of the things that make me who I am. But I love science fiction, fantasy. I love westerns. I have a very eclectic taste when it comes to pretty much everything, music, everything. So it's just going to be a little bit of everything, and a lot of politics. Whatever. And if you want to send me requests for things that you'd like to hear my opinion on, or things that you'd like to hear discussed on the channel, just to set up those conversations, then that would be awesome. And I invite you to do that at any time through my channel, Speaker for the Dead, or on my Twitter, which I can't even remember what the name of that is right now. That's relatively a new thing for me. I've never been a big Twitter person. Never got into that whole thing, but for the purposes of this, I want to be able to have another thing for people to be able to communicate with me on. And if I remember right, it's Brian the Speaker at Twitter. So you should be able to find me on there and send me messages or follow what I'm going to be doing. Just as a disclosure here, for work, I am a long-haul truck driver, but I also work locally in the area where I live. I'm not on the West Coast or the East Coast. Don't affiliate with those worlds. I'm in the Western United States, so I have a different perspective. A lot of times I feel like the perspective of our area, especially the Intermountain West, gets ignored by the rest of the country because we don't have a huge population base. But I think that there's things that we have to offer here, especially in the areas of common sense, where you're not going to find it anywhere else in the country, because we have a very ruralistic view of the country and the Constitution and things in general. And I don't mean rural as in I mean rural as in not polluted, not diluted by a bunch of other outside influences as much, and not to say that's better than anybody else, but just to say that is different, and like I say, a perspective that doesn't happen very often. I mean, when was the last time you saw a major media news outlet ask anybody from Utah or Idaho or Wyoming, Montana for their opinions? No, they don't care. Because we don't have major population centers and cities here, so they figure, well, we don't care about you. We're not interested in your opinions. You're too small to matter. And because of that, because we live here in flyover country, we're kind of kicked to the curb, and nobody takes us seriously. And that's a really sad commentary on where our country is, that we don't listen to each other anymore, especially. And my my purpose on doing this isn't to offend anybody. I'm sure I'm going to say things that are going to be offensive to someone because I'm not politically correct, and I'm not going to self edit myself all the time to try and, you know, cater to this SJW group or this little group over here that thinks that I need to walk on eggshells around in my life for them. That's ridiculous. I don't expect anybody else to do that for me. If you have an opinion, tell me the truth. But you'll find very quickly that I try not to swear. I'll try and keep this clean. But if I get frustrated and upset about something that I want to talk about with you, then more than likely you might hear the occasional swear word slip out. So I apologize for that in advance. But I'm not trying to be offensive. I don't say anything with the intent to offend. My purpose truly is to give you a perspective that maybe you're not used to hearing. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to be right all the time. You're never going to hear me say anything that might not be a little off or a little bit mistaken. And I'm not any expert. I'm an expert in my opinions and my beliefs and stuff, but I'm willing to have those discussions and be open to a dialogue. But if you're just going to get on the channel or my Twitter and mouth off and call me names and swear and be a nasty, worthless human being, well, then you'll prove to everybody on there that that's exactly what you are, a nasty, worthless human being, and nobody needs to listen to you. So I hope you don't do that. I hope you come into this with the opportunity and the possibility that we can actually maybe learn something from each other, because I don't pretend to have all the answers. I'm very firm in my beliefs, but I'm always willing to listen to other people. Anyway, this is going to be fun. I'm going to do some different things, and this is a little bit of a boring first video to get going here, but I wanted to kind of let you know what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be all over the map, and you're going to have the chance to help me decide what goes out over this channel. You're going to help me set the stage for the discussions that we have and the topics that you want to hear about, and maybe my perspectives on different things, and whether it's politics or movies or all kinds of stuff. Some of the people I follow is Geeks and Gamers. He's got a great channel. There's a comic guy that I've never been into comic books myself, but he's this guy. Listening to him's made me wonder if I didn't miss out when I was growing up. I always saw him as kind of childish and stuff like that, and I think I missed the boat on that. And I guess I just didn't really understand maybe what it was. But I mean, growing up in a rural farm community, it's not like we had a lot of comic shops just sitting around in our area. I mean, nearest comic book shop was probably over 100 miles away. I don't know, there may have been one more local than that, but I never knew it. So, but his channel's called Just Some Guy, and he does swear quite a bit on his channel, but he is so funny. I have sat and laughed, you know. And there's many others. One of the other ones that I follow that's given me a lot of inspiration for what I want to do here. I don't want to copy what those guys are doing, but I'm going to be doing something kind of similar. Not to copy, but because that's something I always wanted to do anyway, and this just gives me a chance. But those guys have been a real inspiration into what I wanted to do here on my channel, and kind of seeing the way they handle things, and I may do some things different than they'll do, but there's another guy that I've listened to called Nerdrotic. He's got a great channel, and trying to think of some of the others. Forever Computing. He's a guy from Ireland, I believe. And he's absolutely hilarious to listen to, and it's really interesting to get a European perspective from a conservative European, which is odd because their political terminologies don't always line up with ours. What they think of as liberal and conservative aren't always the same thing as what we see in here in the United States. And I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I used to consider myself a Republican, but I've been so disgusted by both the political parties that you're going to hear me probably kind of bag on both of them. We've got some really great Republicans, true conservatives and constitutionalists in that party that I respect and support, you know. But anyway, and that's my daughter running in, one of them. I have a million children, so you probably see them jumping in and out here from time to time. So anyway, it's going to be fun, right? Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun, and looking forward to it. Like I say, just getting started. So help me plan this channel for what we're going to do in the future. Looking forward to it. See you soon.